Martin, reflecting then on that incredible title-winning day, how did you enjoy it looking back, and how did you celebrate?
Right, the first moment I thought that we were going to win is when three of our players were running with the ball up the field and no Hearts goalkeeper in sight. I felt, yeah, this is it. And so that was a fantastic moment. Obviously, the winning goal, waiting for the clarification. Before that, for us to make it 2-1. The concerns then after that about Hearts getting an equalising goal. And just the scenes were amazing, absolutely amazing, surreal for me.
Yeah, did you get time to enjoy it with family and friends?
I did, and I made the most of it this time. I genuinely did. I wasn't sure about them coming up, and I suppose my wife does get very concerned about the games. But there was a discussion on the Thursday and said, yeah, come on, let's go for it. Whatever happens, it happens. And it's something that my two grandchildren I'd like to have seen anyway. I'm not saying the 3-year-old will remember a great deal about it, but the 7-year-old will take some of it in. And and for them to be there was just magnificent.
Would you agree that it feels like the achievement that it took for you and your coaching staff and the players to win this title over the course of the season has somehow been lost in all the noise, and it's worth highlighting what an achievement it was?
There's no question it's been lost. It's not what outside our supporters, outside us, outside the diaspora. Everybody wanted Hearts to win, and there was just this what shall I say? An incredible anti-feeling about us winning it, and so that didn't become the story. The story became the fans coming onto the pitch to celebrate, as if it's never happened before, and just downright skullduggery on our part to actually come and take the win away from Hearts. So Hearts have been brilliant all season. Let's remind ourselves about that there. But we won it, and sometimes I have to remind myself that we did do.
Yeah, and win it by winning those last 7 games, winning all the 5 games after the split.
Yeah.
Many people spoke about the spirit of '86, and people remember that famous day at Love Street, but we had to win the last 8 games back then, so it was very similar. It wasn't just about that last day.
No, it wasn't. No, we lost just before the international break. We went to Tannadice, got beaten in the game, didn't perform at all. I think, probably the only time that we didn't perform for very long periods of the game. We had a couple of chances in that match. Kieran Tierney perhaps maybe could have scored. Iniacho's forced the goalkeeper into making a great save, both at 0-0. But overall second half performance not good enough. And it was a long way back from then. But we had a time, interestingly, that was an international break. Some of the players were going away. The rest of us had to sit in quiet isolation and churn it all over. But there was a renewed spirit about us coming back to Dundee. I think probably personified by Iniacho coming on and getting the goal for us to win the game. And you felt just slowly but surely, yes, we can do this. Realising that you can't make a mistake, cannot make a mistake in the game. Or if you make mistakes, then you have to rectify that. So, and you're trying to play like each game, you have to find a way to win, and that's what we did. And I have enormous respect for the side in that aspect. Some moments we were just we looked as if we were floundering. Other moments were terrific. But overall, the overall picture was one of great heart and desire.
As someone who grew up supporting the club, whose dad, taught you everything about Celtic and showed you the club as a young boy, it must be a great sense of achievement and pride, if that's not too strong an emotion, to be able to bring so much joy to the Celtic family.
Well, it really was. It was very emotional, I must admit. When I came back, how would you be expecting leave this football club in 2005 and expect to be coming back as a manager 20 years later? It defies belief. But the lovely thing about it gave me a chance to put aside the defeat then at Motherwell, if that's the case, and for us to win at Motherwell on the Wednesday evening. I think that, in my mind, it kind of justified it, if nothing else. God, little to think about, haven't I? But just the game on Saturday was just, it was everything you could possibly hope it to be, really, and more.
For people kind of looking from the outside, and there's been a lot of eyes on Scottish football who don't normally focus on our game, this has been a period of sustained success for Celtic, 14 titles in 15 years. For people looking from the outside, they kind of lazily think, well, it must be easy then, but it's not. That sustained success takes guts, it takes a lot of character, and playing in an environment where everyone raises their game when they're playing against you.
Well, if I can cast my mind back to the year 2000 when I came into the football club, first of all, and Rangers had won by a distance, and I must admit I was concerned. I'd be concerned about whatever sort of spirit that might be within the group, how lack of confidence, things like this here. But when you start to work with really fine players and integrate some really fine players in the transfer market, and you put it all together, and that massive win against Rangers 6-2, eventually it becomes now as talking about as defining moments, seminal moments and things. And I actually think perhaps that's the case. At that time, what it did, Jerry, is I just felt it gave us confidence to go on and then keep the season going and feel as if we could compete with the Rangers. And even our defeat by them in November time didn't affect us in the manner in which it might have done before. But now, go forward now, 20 odd years, coming in here, Celtic have been winning, as you say, absolutely. But here, this season it's been tumultuous in many aspects. It's Brendan leaving early on, me coming in for a while, just to keep things ticking along until a permanent manager comes in. Wolford comes in, it doesn't happen for him. And I come back again, and I didn't. I couldn't have envisaged any of this. Let's say by the 15th of October of last year, and it's all happening. Even now, as I'm speaking to you, I still think, has that happened? I really do think, where did that go? And so for all of those things, I am so grateful to the football club for even thinking about bringing me back, because in my mind, over 20 years, I've probably been back. And yeah, it's just incredible, really.
Well, you've still got a game to go this weekend. It's a cup final against Neil Lennon, one of your former players at Celtic. How much are you looking forward to that occasion? You've had some great Hampden memories.
Oh, greatly looking forward to it. Absolutely, against Neil Lennon, who will be for 90 minutes, 120 minutes, penalties, whatever it may be, will be my nemesis. I owe Neil Lennon a great deal because he came to Leicester. I signed him to Leicester at a time when, life wasn't great. Winning football matches is this has always been about, particularly at this club. But anywhere you go, you have to win. And I wasn't winning greatly early on. And he comes in and does magnificently for me. Not just in us getting immediate promotion, but also the couple of years after that. So no wonder I wanted to sign him for Celtic. And of course, he's got a history here like you wouldn't believe. He's managed the club brilliantly, and he's been a brilliant player. So when you think about his record, it is absolutely incredible. But we keep in touch. Occasional message here and there. I noticed now that they've dried up in the last few days. Hasn't sent anything. I haven't replied, or certainly haven't sent anything to him, and won't do until after Saturday. But he's been he's done wonderfully well with Dunfermline, and we've got to be really on our guard. It's all right. The players have celebrated now as we speak. We've done all that celebrations. It's all over now. We've got to start concentrating on the game again.
Yeah, and I suppose that's my last question. Having come down off the highs of the weekend, are you ready to build up and go again?
We need to be ready. But really, the last thing you do, you want to leave here. You don't want to have the euphoria of last week and then leave the season on a sour note. We've got to be ready for this game. And I know that Neil Lennon will be ready.